Ladies and gentlemen, in the last episode, we started improving spawn here right behind me and built this tent, but in this episode, I want to start off with a massive terraforming session, the way we always do. So without any further ado, let's roll that intro time-lapse. Oh yeah. Ladies and gents, in the past few episodes, I've been really going all out with these intro time-lapses, and this time is no different. I don't even want to think about the amount of hours it's going to take to fully finish this mountain range, but this time I decided to fill in all the stone that's been missing from these areas that we've lined out already. There's always a big sense of accomplishment when you fill this stuff in and it doesn't look like a weird spider web anymore. Don't get me wrong though, there's probably still twice as much work we need to do on this side of the mountain range. We still got to do all the greenification with all the trees and bushes and flowers we gotta place down. We'll be building all kinds of structures and awesome things on this custom terrain in the future, but it always feels really great when you get done with this first part. I've actually had a fair amount of people hitting me up telling me that they want tutorials to make custom terrain. If I did something like that, I'd probably include it in one of these Let's Play episodes, so if that's something you want, definitely put it in the comments below. It's not something I'm gonna have time for before the world tour, but if you want to see something like that, definitely let me know. Another thing I'd like to do is really thank you guys for all the awesome comments of what we should be putting inside of the custom terrain. A lot of people suggested stuff like mines or some kind of awesome cave system. The two ideas I've had this whole time that I really want to make is to make something kind of like the Mines of Moria from the Lord of the Rings, and I'd really like to make something kind of like the Crystal Caverns under Ba Sing Se at the end of Season 2 of The Last Airbender. And as time goes by, honestly, I'm thinking I want to do that when the Amethyst blocks come out, but we've got so much space under the mountains here that we could probably start doing a project under there in one part of it and wait for the crystal caves for 117. But hey, at this point, I think you're all up to speed with what I'm thinking, and let's hop into first person mode and get going with the episode. I will see you on the other side. All right, as the mountain range is coming in through the fog here, it's looking really cool now that all the stone is filled in. In fact, I think that makes a huge difference for this area, and the only thing we need to do still for the world tour is connect that right to over there. It'll probably take me a couple hours, don't get me wrong, but it's just nice to know that there's not too much I need to do before the world tour comes out. Yeah, it's looking a lot spookier and scarier around here, and I think I just saw a mob over here. Yeah, there's a little bit of lighting that still needs to be done over here before I can call this place totally safe. But you know what, folks? Today, I'm recording some of this video on my birthday. Yay! And I think, of course, we need to celebrate, so let's eat some cake. Nom 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 nom. Yes, happy birthday to me. But listen, we really don't have time to think about birthday celebrations or anything like that because I have a bit of a mega episode planned for you guys. I really want to get going with the storage system in my world because my current storage situation is a disaster. But you know what? I got so much I want to get done before the world tour that we're going to have to do a lot of building in this episode as well. And I never really finished this jousting arena right behind me, so I think we got to do a mini time-lapse where I finish this thing. So with the risk of this episode being a time-lapse marathon, roll that time-lapse. Oh yeah. Alright guys, this has been long overdue. There's still a lot more we need to do here over at the jousting arena. There's still a lot of detail work to be done, and I want to do some entrance areas here on both sides of what we just built. But overall, I'm really happy with this. It's the exact same style as everything else, so it's nothing special here for this build. What I did include that, as I was saying, what I have included here that I didn't include on this side originally is just some stairs to be able to get up here, so we're gonna have to do that eventually on these sides, but we'll figure all that out out when we do the detail work down the line. But for now, I'm just really happy that this thing is built and standing here, because the first time I tried building this, I accidentally built the whole thing a few blocks to the right. Yeah, I had to build the whole thing twice, and it was painful. You might also notice these guys in my periphery over here. I just went over to the jungle to get some jungle wood to craft up all this stuff, and I found all these guys and figured I'd bring them back. And honestly, they might fit right in with our fairgrounds area here, so we'll figure out something to do with these guys. If you all have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. What should we do with all my parrots right here? And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot more work to do here over at Spawn in this episode, but I'd like to do something, a little bit of an intermission real quick. Those of you guys that have been watching my videos for a while know that I don't have a proper storage room. Like, I just leave shulker boxes everywhere. Like, right here, we got a mess of shulker boxes. We got a mess of shulker boxes right here. The most egregious example is right over here, where I just kind of keep everything I use to build. Honestly, it's a setup that's pretty far from ideal, and if you look at my original storage room over here, which was meant to be temporary, I've just kind of slapped down item frames with random items on here and loosely stored it. But in the long run, this definitely won't do. I'm going to be spending so much time in this world. I mean, preferably, I'd like to get this series up to hundreds of episodes and just keep expanding this world as much as I can. But if I'm going to do that, I definitely need a better storage system than this random mess. And so that is why, good people of the internet, we need to build my storage room. And it's going to be a little bit of a strange project. It's not going to be like any of the other building projects I've done so far. It's going to be a fairly technical project and very, very expansive. So every now and then in an episode like this, I will just take a bit of a break to work on expanding the storage room, because I am going to want to sort most of the items in the game, and I think I'll be adding more and more as we go along. So we should start with just some of the essentials that we need to get sorted. Now, the big question is, of course, where am I going to put my storage system? And by this point, you guys can probably figure out that I'm putting it down here underneath the mountain. And I think right here up in this space is going to be perfect, because we're going to want a lot of space to expand downwards here later on. Another really good reason to pick this spot for my storage room is that the iron farm is here, my sugarcane farm. Maybe, and that's a big maybe, we'll start funneling everything from my creeper farm all the way up over here to get sorted. Basically, I want this to be a hub for all my items. But if we're going to be doing tons and tons of redstone, we're of course going to need tons and tons of redstone. And I do have my redstone box right here. Oh yeah, okay, we do have a ton of redstone ore, so I'm just going to fortune this up and we'll see exactly how much I get from this. This is the last of the redstone right here, so I got a lot. I actually filled my inventory, so I needed to craft up some into redstone blocks, so this should definitely be enough to craft up some comparators and repeaters. So that is exactly what I've done right here. I crafted up a ton of redstone materials I'm going to need and just grabbed a bunch of stone and everything I'll need to start building this thing. This is going to be a lot of work, and we're definitely going to need to put our trusty redstone hat on, so let's not waste any time and get to building. Oh yeah. Guys, this is long overdue. Somehow, I've managed to go more than 600 hours without a proper storage room. That is all about to change. I honestly think I've been putting it off because I want to make it a fully automatic system that sorts most of the available items in the game, which is going to be a massive project. And despite all the progress I'm making in this video, I'm only going to be able to sort 25 unique items. So there's a lot of expansion we need to do, but this is going to be an excellent recurring project for the next while. The weirdest part about this is that I'm building it from the inside out. I want to get all the redstone finished and laid out before I decorate anything so that I don't get in the way of it. And the exterior is honestly going to be unnecessary after I build the rest of the mountain here, so the design process is just going to be a little bit different from normal, that's all. And I don't know if you guys have noticed the iron farm really churning out the iron while we've been building this. It's been really efficient, so let's hope that we can actually replace all the hoppers that we're putting down here, because we're going to need so many more. I used 151 hoppers in this time-lapse alone, so we're gonna need a lot of them. And this project is really tearing through my wood supply because chests just take so much wood to craft. So if you guys know of any great automatic wood farm we can build in the future, please recommend below. That would be awesome. I am in dire need. And here you see me laying out all the redstone that's going to be sorting our items, but let's take a closer look at that in first-person mode. I will see you on the other side. Alright guys, I am really happy with the fact that this is almost finished. There's only one detail that still needs to be put in, and that is the actual items that will make our sorting system actually sort things. Basically, the way this is going to work is we have our hopper right here, so we can either just throw our items in here, put our items in the barrel manually, or we can put a shulker box up top here. And what that'll do is send it down to a dropper down there that'll shoot everything up this water stream, and it just kind of goes all the way around here. And the plan is to later on have the items, once they do a full lap right here, just have them hit some trap doors here and fall down this way. And that way we're going to be able to make multiple levels of this thing, which I'm really excited about. So for now, obviously this interior is really work in progress. I basically wanted to put all these water streams in. We're going to be hiding them completely, but I needed to know where they're going to be so that I can do the decorating later on. For instance, right here, we'll probably lower this one block, or we'll do some trapdoor magic to not be able to see that right there. And as for the floor, I'm not really sure about this. I just put something temporary in that kind of looks okay, but we'll probably make something more interesting once we put the ceiling in and all that good stuff. And we definitely should do something practical with the space all the way up there that leads into the top tower. In fact, we can even extend the stairway coming all the way down here from there. So definitely give me some suggestions what we should be doing with this space up here. But in the time lapse, you saw me building this area over here as well, and maybe you were confused like, Antlerboy, this is not an automatic sorting system. This is just some barrels. And yeah, you'd be totally correct and totally Australian as well. Basically, the plan for this area is this is where we're going to have our bulk storage. So I'm going to have to stock up on shulker boxes, and then we'll just put whatever block we have stored in the barrel under it. And we'll use that to signify that we have shulkers and shulkers full of that material in that box. We probably won't be storing this many things in bulk, but hey, you never know, and I'd rather be prepared than not. I think I want to build some really cool chandelier right here, because this is how you're going to be entering the storage room as well. Basically, once we get to building this side of the mountain right here, what I'll probably end up doing is making some kind of village on this level going down the mountain here as well, and that way we can have a house with a little archway going in here into the storage system so that we can just fly right in. And as for the way we're going to be getting down to the other levels, I think I just want to do a water column right here, so a water elevator in the middle. Perhaps we'll make some kind of system where if you fall down the hole on this side, you'll fall down to the first basement floor, second, third. We'll figure something out. The floors below here are going to be a lot bigger and sort more items, so we'll probably be okay with 4 floors or maybe even 3 or 2. But if you guys have some great and convenient ideas right there, that would probably be great. I also plan to make some manual staircases going down there, which is where this section comes into play. We'll just knock this wall out right here and make a staircase down there. And then, of course, if you come up here to the left, we'll be able to connect this up with a staircase up there. Could be a bit steep, but we'll probably figure it out. And then with the other side right here, we'll be able to figure out something to do with this. Overall, there's a lot of potential for this place, and I'm really excited to get decorating here, but our first order of business should really be putting together the actual sorting mechanic. So the way this is going to work is we need some wooden shovels. I'll tell you exactly why. And then I made a lot of this sorting stuffing right here, and we're going to need this stuff. What we need to do to actually get this up and running is go to the top hopper right here, and we will just place some of this sorting stuffing in the middle right here, place a wooden shovel right at the end, and then whatever the item we want to sort, we put it right up here. So that's only going to let dark oak pass through this first chest row right here. So anything else, it would at this point get stuck in the second hopper. We can actually test this out right here. So if we just put maybe 6 of these in here, and we'll put 7 of those in there, you'll see all the items flowing up here and getting sorted into the right spot. And now that everything's been sorted, we should have all of our planks right there, and we should have our 7 dark oak logs right there. Perfect. So in between episodes, I'll probably come in here and start sorting all the most used items I use. But for now, I think we've spent about enough time on the storage system for this episode, so let's gear up and do something a little bit different. And oh yeah, before I forget, we should probably take the redstone hat off. I feel like such a technical man with that thing on. But for right now, I need to get my building noggin on because I still want to work on spawn a little bit for this episode. See, I have this idea of making a second tent, and I think I want to put that tent right here. See, somehow the knights that are going to participate in the tournament are going to have to apply for the tournament. So I figure we'll make a little bit of a tent right here where you can register to partake, and hopefully it should make the whole area look a lot more awesome. So I'm going to grab my materials and get ready for building right here, and you guys can just sit back, relax, grab your snacks, and let's, for one last time, get ready for another time lapse. Oh yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the tent is built and I am absolutely in love with what it looks like in this area here. And I know what a few of you are going to say. It looks a little bit like the colors of a certain culinary franchise in the real world. But you know what? I don't mind. In fact, you could even say I'm loving it. Well, bad jokes aside, eat healthy, ladies and gentlemen. I have left the interior here mostly untouched. I figured I'd do that on camera since you guys seem to like that. And I'd like to keep it pretty simple in here, but maybe let's do something like this, that right below here, right dead in the center, we'll put this jobby and we'll make a little bit of a table. It's on a slight diagonal here since I made the entrance diagonal, but we should probably be able to figure something out. Next up, we'll place some lecterns right here and probably have some signs on the outside. Do something like this. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's put the signs right here and remove them from where the lectern is, and we can actually replace them with some item frames. Yep. And there's something I really want to try. Let's try these swords right here. Place them down. Maybe angle that guy like, yeah. That looks pretty cool. I think I prefer the swords down like this, though. That looks pretty awesome. Then we're, of course, going to want to put our book and quills in here so it looks a little bit more official. And I kind of want to try putting a gray carpet right here. Yeah, I like that. We'll go with that. Then we'll do some of these longer candles we've been trying out lately. I can't wait for the 1.17 update. Like, I need my candles right now because this looks okay, but I need my candles. Then we're going to need a chair for whoever's going to be sitting in here and working, so I figure we'll put it right here, just a slab and a few trapdoors. On a diagonal, it looks a little bit strange maybe, but I think that should do the trick for us. And then I was thinking, since this has to do with knights, we probably want to put some armor stands down. How about just in the corners here, we'll do something like this? And we're probably going to have a hard time seeing the guys behind here, so we'll put these on some slabs. That'll raise them up a little bit. And I think I want one right here in the middle, but we'll raise it up a little bit more and try to place this on the diagonal here. Let's see. Yeah, that back one definitely needs to be raised up one more. Hold on. Yeah, and now let's armor it up. Oh yeah, that is looking pretty snazzy. I kind of want to get netherite for this one in the back because I don't think the blue's going to look very good with the red right behind it. Yeah, we got to check what it looks like. Now, unfortunately, I only have one netherite set. We could probably make some more, but I just want to see what this looks like. I mean, the enchantment glint is kind of annoying. I wish I didn't have that on there, but it would cost me 4 netherite ingots just for this decoration if I wanted to do that. I'll do it if we get to 200 likes. Nah, but I'll probably do it anyway, to be honest. This place needs a little bit of greenificating, so let's get that sorted right now. Well, I dare say that is a pretty handsome interior of this little tent right here. I think I did the job. So now anyone who wants to take part in the jousting tournament over here would have to apply right over here in this tent. That is awesome. A little bit of lore for our world and a nice little decoration. I mean, just imagine this area once there are way more tents, our cramped market right here, the arena. It's going to look really, really cool. I'm loving working on this project right now, and I'm hoping we can cram as much as possible into the next episode. It's going to be way more mega than this episode. It's going to be basically everything else that I need to get done before the world tour. But ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave that like and to comment down below. You could even answer someone else's comment. And with that said, I think I've said everything I should as a YouTuber. Great. But you know the drill. If you watch the video all the way to the end, then you're the champ, and I appreciate your existence. And until we see each other next time, have a good one.